Akamai, co-founder and CEO, Tom Leighton joins us now for more. There are loads of words and adjectives and praise used by the sell side, Tom. A clean print, strong quarter, growth. But what there's less discussion of is why. What were the specific factors in the quarter that put Akamai up front?
Well, we have several market-leading products in security, obviously very important today given the large number of damaging attacks, ransomware, data exfiltration, and our enterprise compute business doing very well. We talked about just really getting started in that aspect of the business this year, and now we think we'll exit the year at $100 million a year annual run rate in revenue with a lot of exciting potential for the future. And I think those are great proof points that investors are now seeing.
On the enterprise side, I find that very interesting. Is it demonstrative of broad strength in your client base, those industries' sort of willingness to spend? Or is there something specific that Akamai is doing that allows you to sort of outperform in a difficult environment?
Well, security is important for every major enterprise, even in tough economic times, which we're seeing some of now. And we have the market-leading products, and the major enterprises really need them to be safe. And in compute, I think we have a very compelling value proposition. We can provide better performance at a much lower price point. And when you can do that and help a major enterprise save money, well, this is a good time to be able to have that happen.
Tom, strength in the areas you outlined, compute security, and then a little weakness in CDN. I would like to talk about what's happening in your industry overall. I think we start with CrowdStrike, endpoint specialist, you DDoS, but what was that week and situation like for Akamai? Was there any tangible positive read-through for you or any way that you capitalized on what happened?
Well, we don't use that software ourselves, so there was no impact to Akamai. And we helped our customers, where we could, but that was in an area where we don't really do business. I think there were a lot of learnings for the industry as a whole. First, it really is clear you just can't be doing updates all at once everywhere in the world. Most of the time that's okay, but eventually you're going to have an unintended consequence. And if you update the entire world at one time, you got a disaster. That's a lesson we learned at Akamai pretty painfully about 20 years ago. And ever since then, we phase our updates after you've been through QA and you're confident. You still just go one stage at a time. So in case there's something that was unanticipated, you catch it before you cause a problem. I think also there's a much better understanding that reliability matters, and it takes a lot of investment. But you see what happens when you have something like this. I think enterprises will pay a lot more attention to reliability going forward.
I hear you on that. I'm not a cyber expert by any means, and I know that a lot of CIOs, cyber managers, CISOs watch this program. And for them, top of mind is a sort of academic debate, agent versus agentless delivery or security of that, delivery of security. Do you see, though, away from the academic debate on the best security systems, action? Your enterprise customers saw the news cycle and picked up the phone and said, we are changing how we do cyber.
No, they were just trying to get out of the disaster, I think. I think going forward, there'll be a time of reflection into how do you prevent this from happening? How do you keep a vendor from, having this consequence? And it's not just a situation of having multiple vendors because that might even increase the problem, because if any one of them has a big issue, you got a problem, but really selecting vendors who put the extra effort and investment into making sure things stay reliable as possible.
Tom, I guess closer to home for you, a higher profile DDoS attack on Azure in June. What did you make of that and Microsoft's handling it, and how did it impact you?
DDoS attacks are probably the oldest kinds of cyber attacks out there. They go back more than 20 years as well. That's an area where we have leading services to help defend customers. In fact, just last week, we saw one of the top 10 DDoS attacks of all time coming out of the Middle East. With the war there, we're able to defend a very important financial enterprise from that kind of an attack. So even though it's been around a long time, we are still seeing some very large DDoS attacks, and it's important for enterprises to have state-of-the-art defenses, even today.
Tom Leighton, CEO of Akamai.